Hey everybody, how is it going today? Well, in this video I was hoping to show you my trade entry into Vivo Power, but unfortunately it hasn't come down or hit my price target just yet. But when I was going through my watch list, I did see a couple other charts that looked very nice that are setting up for decent looking swing trades, and I wanted to share them with you in this video. Alright, if you are new to the channel, I like to find short-term and long-term trading and investing opportunities in typically lower-priced stocks. I like to find undervalued, underappreciated stocks with high growth potential and talk about all other things finance-related as well. If that's something that interests you, please subscribe so you don't miss any future trading and investing ideas. And also, I am not a financial advisor, so please do all of your own research before making any investment decisions. All right, everybody, happy Friday. In this video, I'm going to get right into the charts. First one I have up is Vivo Power International, and I made a video about this company yesterday, and I stated I would like to be a buyer right at the 50-day simple moving average, looking for a bounce into the $10 to $11 range. And as we can see, it's still a pretty good distance away from that. But the way the day started today, I thought there was no way it was going to get anywhere near it. Now it's starting to look like it might hit it after all. But if I go to the intraday chart, we'll go to the 2-minute chart, we can see that it gapped up early in the day and then sold off hard. Actually, when it started gapping up, I checked Vivo Power International and a few other stocks I had been watching, and there was nothing doing. So I left the house to run some errands, and to my surprise, when I got home, I noticed it had sold off pretty hard. But if I zoom in just a little bit to the intraday chart, it looks like it could be busting out to the upside now. But it's mired in a little bit of a triangle consolidation. Looks like at the moment it's trying to make a liar out of me. But as we can see, the highs are getting lower, and they are starting to put pressure on this support area. And if it does break through that support area, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if we have another sell-off that looks just like the one we had today after it gapped up. And that could bring it very close to hitting my limit order at $7.61. And as we can see, today's bar is still very, very bearish. That is an ugly looking candle if you are long this stock. And I wouldn't be surprised if there is some more follow through to the downside and it gets pretty close to that moving average today. I didn't want to be a holder of this stock through the weekend, but if it gets down to that 50-day simple moving average, that is where I definitely want to buy, thinking that we are going to get a decent size bounce up to the $10 to $11 area. But another chart that I found that looked very interesting was Ajax Therapeutics, and I saw this one very early in the day, and I was hoping we were going to have some more follow through to the downside, but Age also reversed and is heading up, and but it is holding the gains that it has for today, unlike VVPR. But if I back out the chart a little bit, I'll show you why I like this chart pattern at the moment. But if I draw this rectangle here, you can see that this is a support area that's coming down into, plus the 21-day exponential moving average is also moving up into that area. And if I get rid of this box, put the Fibonacci levels on there, we can see that the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement area is also in that area. So I think the $1.45 range would be a nice place to put a limit buy order. That's what I planned on doing, hoping to catch a bounce up, because this stock has fallen all the way down from a high of about $4. And if it hit my limit order at 146, that would be a pretty steep decline, and it would be due for a bounce. But it doesn't look like this one is going to come anywhere near it today. I'm just going to keep that on my watch list. Maybe next week I will end up taking a position in that for a swing trade. And if I break it down to the 15-minute chart, we can see it looks like it's starting to carve out a bottom, so it might it might never make it to the $1.46 area. So, but I am going to keep that on my chart, and I did want to show that to you guys. I thought that was a very, very nice looking chart that could bounce in that area. And the last one I wanted to show you was MTC, Tech Incorporated. And if I zoom in closer, it's kind of hard to see the bars because this stock really moves when it gets going. It IPO'd in early 2019, and we can see that first run up it had. It took off from under $4 and went to $19 in a month. And then it sold off and took off again in May when it gapped up from around $1. It gapped up to over $2 and then topped out over $7.50 in just a couple of weeks. And right now, it wouldn't surprise me if it does it again. This is a big, nasty looking red volume bar. When I go intraday, it doesn't look too bad. Look at the 5-minute chart. It looks like up volume and down volume is pretty much even, but it's still not a good thing to see a massive sell-off after immediately following the massive run-up, especially in the same day. So that's kind of a red flag. But anyway, I'm going to go back to the daily chart. Zoom in a little bit. But what I'm looking at that I like is the lows are rising. And this is kind of making an opposite pattern of what VVPR was doing on the intraday chart. So we can see that this triangle consolidation is actually squeezing and it's putting pressure on the upper resistance area. And once it blew through it, it's starting to pull back now. Now, what I am looking for at this point, let me get these things out of the way. I am looking for how it reacts to this 8-period exponential moving average. For me to want to enter this stock, I want to see it come down to this 8-period exponential moving average and hold it, and then get another bar like this one coming off of it. I think if that happens and we get one of those bars in this area, just following these current bars, we could have another explosion up. And if we go back to the other run-ups that it had, see if I can make this look a little better here. We can see after the gap up, it kind of drifted into the 8-period exponential moving average and then exploded higher and then started its run. And that's exactly what I want to see. I want to be a buyer on this bar if we get an explosion off that 8-period exponential moving average. Let's go back to the other move up. Yeah, let me see if I can make that look a little better here. All right. Well, as we can see, it jumped up in the end of May and then held that 8-period exponential moving average and then exploded higher here. And that's when I wanted to be a buyer and just wait and just watched it and saw how it held this moving average. And if it started to hold it and rise up, then I want to ride that train. If it breaks through it and starts to roll over, then you want to get out and you want to look for the next opportunity. But once you get that explosion over those moving averages, what you want to be doing is watching how it reacts to it when it comes back down into them. If you get some positive price action followed with some volume, there is a good chance you could get price run up afterwards. And that's exactly what I want to be a part of. That's what I want to capture. But that's what I wanted to show you guys today. I didn't have a whole lot else going on. And these ones haven't triggered a buy yet. But I think that they are worth keeping on our watch list, and especially Tech, because this thing has already proven that when it wants to run, it can really run. And I am very interested to see how this thing reacts in the next couple of days once this 8-period exponential moving average rises into it. If we get a big down day and it blasts right back through it, then it was a false signal and we move on to the next trade. But I think this trade setup at the moment looks very promising. Well, all right, guys. Well, that's what I wanted to show you today. If VVPR does end up crashing and hitting my buy order, I will definitely show you that in another video. But I'm going to end it right here. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like it if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And until next time, take it easy and have a great weekend, guys.